Hey, welcome to day 6. All you need is a yoga mat. Go ahead and kick off your shoes. We're going to do a 30-minute restorative, refreshing yoga flow. Let's go. The class in child's pose. So go ahead and come to kneeling at the back of your mat, hips towards heels, knees as wide or as close as you'd like. Stretch your arms overhead and let your forehead rest down towards the floor. Go ahead and make whatever customization suits you. So if you need to bend your elbows, go ahead. And take a moment and just notice your breath. Can you move the breath into your belly and also in and out through your nose? If that's not available, just breathe however you can. We'll take this moment to set your intention for the class, to kind of just congratulate yourself for making it to day 6 in the Fit Fusion program. Breath of gratitude for this body you're in. Start to walk your hands over to the right, and let's create a great side stretch for your left. Push your left hip away and let your left and right armpits just kind of melt down to the floor. With your next breath in, we'll switch it. Go ahead and walk the hands over to the left. Bump your right hip away and then melt those armpits down. Let your head relax down. Deep breath. We'll shift the weight forward now, coming into all fours, tabletop position, hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Exhale, round your back, push down into your hands, cat. And then inhale, let your belly just soften to the floor, lift your chest, lift your tail, cow. And then go ahead and flow with whatever breath pace suits you. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. Your head and your tailbone go together in opposition to the middle of your spine. And we will settle after this last round into neutral spine. Bring yourself back to table. Draw your navel in. Shift weight off of your right knee and pick that knee up behind you. So flexed at 90 degrees. Paint 3 nice big slow circles with your right knee. Up and over to the side. Back under. Try to put weight equally into both hands. And then when you hit the top of that third one, go the other way. So slow. Try not to use momentum. Circling up and back. One more. Excellent. Release that knee to the floor. You can wag your tail for a second. And let's switch sides. So shift weight off your left knee, pick it up, flex the foot, flex the knee, circling 3 times, kind of like a slow motion camera, out to the side and under and up. Bracing the core, and then when you hit the top, go the opposite direction. 3 circles the other way, warming up those hips. Last one. Good. Release the knee to the floor. Let's take one more child's pose. Reach those fingertips up a little bit higher up the mat. Lift your elbows. Active stretch through your upper back. And then with your exhale, plant your palms and slither forward on your mat. Knees, chest, and chin come down to the floor. Belly finds the ground. You can walk your legs out long. Pull those hands back about an inch by your ribs. Baby cobra. Inhale to come up. Keep softness in your neck. Push through your hands. And exhale to come down. Let's do 2 more. Go ahead and float however high you can without pain. Maybe it's mid cobra, maybe it's full cobra, and then exhale, come back down. 1 more. Or you could stay in baby cobra if that's where your back is happy today. Exhale, release. Push into both hands. Come on up into table. Take a quick child's pose to counter stretch those cobras. And then we'll walk ourselves forward into our first down dog. So tuck all 10 toes, push into your hands, a little bit of energy into all 10 fingers, and then you'll lift the hips up and back as you let your head dive down. And then relax your face and let your heels get heavy. Let's see if we can pedal 1 knee at a time. Bend and then alternate the opposite heel towards the floor, stretching out the backs of your legs. You've been working really hard this week. Take some time for a little self-care, self-love. With this next one, we'll start to pedal our feet to the top of the mat. Walk, 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 bringing your feet forward into forward fold. So feet are right under the hips. Softness in your knees. Come up for a half lift. Exhale, release. Bend your knees really deeply like a ball squat. Stretch the heels to the floor, and then we'll roll ourselves up like a rag doll. Take your time. Push down into your feet. Let your tailbone tuck under, and then stack the bones. Roll the shoulders. When you get to the top, find your best posture. Your palms shine forward, and your spine is in neutral. Your neck is lined up over the shoulders. Take a big breath in, reach up. And on the exhale, bow. Slide down those legs. Half lift. Bend into your knees. Let's reach for the floor with your fingers and stretch your right leg way back. Come into low lunge. You're going to tuck the right toes under. Leave the right knee pointed down. Left knee over left ankle. Scissoring your legs together strong. Can you rise up into a crescent? Fingers come overhead. And if you can you sink a little lower? Good. Let's open into warrior two. Spin your back heel down. Open your arms out to the side. Bend into that left knee. So creating a nice little strength builder lunge. Check that your knee doesn't cave in. You can just kind of push it with your hand if it does. And let's surf forward. Reach forward. Lift your left palm. Right hand to your thigh. Reverse warrior. Lift up. Unwind, come back to warrior two. Take the front elbow to your thigh, stretch your top arm to the sky. So side angle pose. And then I like to add a little movement in the shoulder. So take your top arm and just keep circling forward, under and up, like you're swimming a big front stroke here. Slowly. No momentum. Open the shoulder joint. On this next one, let's go ahead and circle it all the way to the ground. And as you do, pick up your back heel, heel toe, left foot out, make space for the left hand, runner's lunge. And then you can move a little bit if it feels good, a little forward and back, shifting side to side. If you need to, you can place your back knee on the floor and just kind of take some of that tension out of your back leg. Big breath here, stretching through the hips, whichever version you're choosing. And then with your exhale, let's go ahead and heel toe the left foot back through the center. Put a spring load in your back leg. Exhale, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Half lift. Exhale, release. Root down through your feet, rise up. Big breath to the top. Match your hands, palm to palm. Come into prayer at your chest. And let's do it again, but on the other side. So big breath in, stretch up, inhale. And on your exhale, we bow. Take your half lift. So we're kind of matching our breath to movement. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, reach for the floor with your fingers, and step your left leg back, way, way back. Tuck the toes on the left foot, and keep your right knee over your right ankle. We're going to start to scissor those legs. So energy in the lower body is what's going to push you up from the ground and reach your arms to the sky, crescent lunge. You can challenge yourself and see if you can sink just a little bit deeper, squaring off those hips. And let's prep for warrior two. Start to swivel your back heel to the ground, open your arms into a T. Bend your front knee a little more. Check that it's not caving in. You can guide it. Arms stretched out, softness in the neck. We'll surf forward now. So reach your right arm forward, flip your right palm, left hand to the thigh as you reverse your warrior. Chin off the chest. Come through the middle, slow and smooth. Take a side angle, so right elbow to your thigh, and reach the left arm up. So just side angle to start. Roll that hip open. And let's keep with some movement. You're going to take the top arm, left arm over the head like you're swimming freestyle. Nice and slow, gentle circles. Noticing if there's any spot in that circle that is restricted. Build some strength in your legs. And let's circle all the way down to the ground. So keep going. Let your left hand find the floor. Pick your left heel up. Heel toe, right leg out to the side a little bit so there's room for both hands inside the knee. And this is your runner's lunge. Go ahead and take whatever version works for you. I like to do a little movement side to side, front and back. You could also just make this passive and melt the back knee. It's quite a stretch, so you might do a little bit of both. Just listen to your body and see where you are with this. Good. And if your back knee is down, go ahead and pick it up. We're going to heel toe the right foot back through the middle of the mat. Bend in your back leg, look forward, and exhale, step your feet together. Top of the mat, half lift, inhale. And exhale, release. Root to rise, strong legs, strong back. Come on up, palm to palm, bring them to heart center. Let's take a moment here. Find your best posture and find your breath. Toes are forward. Let's release the fingers behind your lower back and see if they can interlace and find one another. And then go ahead and separate your feet just a little bit, and we'll drop the knuckles towards the floor, opening through the chest now. And expand the collarbones wide. Good. And this might be plenty. You'll stay right here if this is really intense for you. Is just holding this chest stretch. If you're able to, put a bend in your knees, pick up your heart, breathe into your belly, and then with engaged core muscles, start to float forward. You're going to rest the rib cage on the thighs, and then if it's available, you'll just let the arms keep falling up and over the head. If that becomes too intense at any time, let go, or you can bring those knuckles back to your low back. So just make a customization so this works for you. Release your fingers, catch opposite elbows, so it's a ragdoll hang here. You have a really good bend in both knees. Gently sway side to side. Good. Fingertips to your shins, come up for half lift. Exhale, release. Find the floor with your hands and step yourself back to plank, tucking those toes under. Let your hips sink so they're in line with your shoulders, in line with your head. Hold for a breath. Shift forward of your wrists. You can put your knees down if you'd like, or you can keep your knees up. Chaturanga, elbows scrape the ribs. Baby cobra or medium cobra or full cobra, coming through chaturanga. Exhale, release. Let your heart melt back down. Let's place the left forearm in front of your forehead, and then go ahead and rest your forehead on the forearm like it's a pillow. Keep your right hand on the floor, and we'll flex your right knee. And let's just bend and extend the leg. So straighten and bend your knee a few times. We'll test the waters to see how your quad feels. On the next one, hold it up, and that might be it. If there's a lot of tightness in your quad, you'll just stay here. If you can reach your right hand back and find something to hold, maybe your foot, maybe your ankle, or maybe your pant leg, and take a nice passive quad stretch. And try to breathe into the muscle wherever you feel a lot of tension. Breathe there. Good, and we'll gently release, so no slingshot. Slowly replace that foot to the floor. Create a little pillow with your right forearm. Place your left hand by your rib. Rest your forehead down, and let's bend your left knee a few times like you're doing hamstring curls. So just squeeze the back of your leg and then straighten it out. One more. This is just to kind of test it out and see where we're at, and then hold the top. You might stay here, or you could reach back and connect with your left hand. So honor whatever your left knee is saying. If it feels like too much, you can back out of that, or always use a strap to catch your foot. Make your arm a little longer. Breathe into the front of your thigh. Good. We'll release what you're holding. Slowly rest your left foot to the floor. Place both hands alongside your ribs. Pick yourself up to all fours. Little child's pose. Stretch the arms overhead, nose and forehead towards the floor. Good. We'll come forward into table once more. So set yourself up, knees under your hips, and hands under your shoulders. Stand on your left hand and reach your right arm up. Lift and twist. Maybe look at that hand. Thread the needle. Slide the hand under your left armpit. Keep sliding until your shoulder, your head, your ear rest. And then you can shift weight back into your knees if that's kind of tender in the neck, or you could keep up here and just walk the left hand to the top of the mat. Stretching into your shoulder now. And we'll place the left hand by your face, push down, and twist to come out of this. So right arm goes up to the sky and lower. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Stand on your right hand, reach your left arm up, twist through your middle spine, thread the needle. Back of the hand scrapes the mat. Look at the hand as you twist and let your ear face rest. You can keep your hand by your face for support, or you can reach it to the top of the mat. And feel free to shift back into your knees more if you need less on the head and shoulder. Feel this in the back of your shoulder, maybe even a little bit in the neck muscles and into your spine. You're taking a twist. We'll slowly place that right hand by your face, push down, reach up, and just kind of finish off the same way you started. Lower the hand back underneath the shoulder. Walk your hands about a handprint forward and take the right knee through the center of the mat and just kind of shimmy your right foot out to the side so there's room for you to slide your left quad down. If you have a block, you could place it under this hip to give you some support. We're trying to square off. If your knee hurts, take this on your back so you can apply a little bit less pressure to the stretch here. But if you can, if you feel it in your hip, we'll take a big breath in like a cobra. Inhale. And then on the exhale, let's fold, sleeping half pigeon. Start to walk your hands forward. You might be able to come down to elbows. You might be able to make a little fist pillow for your forehead. And there's no pressure to achieve a certain depth, so just go wherever you really are. And relax your neck, relax your face. And we'll start our journey of coming back up. Use your hands, gently press into the floor. We'll walk the hands to the inside of the knee. So there's a good amount of weight on the hands. So we'll maybe about 40% of weight on the hands. So you'll start to squeeze that back hamstring, lift, and then release. Do a couple hamstring curls, test the water. So we prepped your quad for this stretch, but if it's not ready today, you'll just keep hamstring curling and then rest. If you're able to, you'll stand on your right hand, leave your left heel up, and circle your left arm up and over like you're doing a backstroke to see if you can catch your foot or your ankle. You might need to come up onto your fingertips on this right hand, or maybe a block. You could place a block under the right hip to give you a little support into the stretch. Mermaid. Quite a hip opener, so honor what you're finding. And we'll slowly release. Try not to slingshot. If you did catch onto the foot, swim forward with those hands. Separate the hands and shift back. Child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead down, arms overhead. Deep breath here. And we'll switch sides. On the exhale, shift it forward. Take your left knee down the center of your mat and shimmy that left ankle out. So there's room for you to start to slide. Kind of feels like you're trying to do the splits here. Half pigeon. And then customize. So your right toes, right knee face down. Or if you're like, ooh, a lot for my knee, you're going to go ahead and take this version on your back. And then when we add the bind, you'll take quad stretch on your side. So sorry for those of you who were doing it on your back. That's how you can customize that. If you are in half pigeon, you can roll it down and take a little sleeping variation of this. Stretching out outer hip, and just be really mindful and customize where you feel it. So if you are on your back, you will simply roll to your side to stretch your quad. If you are in half pigeon with me, start to walk yourself up. Let's take a little cobra stretch through the spine, lift, And then walk the hands to the inside of your front knee and start to do a little active hamstring curling here. Just flexing the knee and releasing, gentle. And then also gives you a chance to do a little kind of check-in to see how it feels. If you can, keep it up. We'll place weight onto your left hand and circle your right arm up. Maybe connect with something, maybe not. You might just reach for it, or you could use a strap or a towel. And then notice where you feel this. Always feel free to place like a blanket under your left hip or a rolled up towel if you need some support on this side. And then we'll gently and slowly release whatever version you're holding. Come back to the front, separate the hands, shift your weight back. One final child's pose, hips to heels, forehead down. And then shift weight forward, and we'll come into Sukhasana, sweet pose. Right ankle in front of your left. Go ahead and flex those feet, rock side to side. Get on your sit bones so you can pull your hip flesh back. Stretch both arms overhead. Inhale. And then exhale, twist to your right. Reach behind you with your right arm, and then the left hand will catch the outside of your right thigh. Look over your back shoulder. Good. Unwind. Take a big breath in. Stretch your arms overhead. And twist to the left. Fingertips will find some leverage, either on the floor or the outside of your thigh, or a little bit of both. Look over your back shoulder. And start your unwind here. Go ahead and take the right arm up overhead. Pat yourself on the back. You can give it a push, a pull, or if you'd like to try Gobakhanasana, turn your left thumb down. Start to wriggle your fingers towards one another, holding this shoulder stretch. I like to use my shirt for some leverage because I cannot quite connect my fingers yet. And sometimes I don't have a towel or a strap available. So I just hold on to my clothing here, and it gives me the leverage I need for the stretch. Make sure you're sitting up tall. And then exhale, release, slowly unwind. Take a circle in your shoulders, shrug it out, left arm up overhead, pat on the back. Feel free to just kind of test the waters by pushing or pulling this elbow up. Or try the bind. So the right thumb goes down and you wriggle your fingers towards one another. Maybe hold the shirt or a towel or strap. Deep breath in. And slowly release. We'll take a circle in those shoulders once more. Rock to your tailbone and we'll switch the crossing. So other ankle in front here and find those sit bones. Take the right fingers out to the side. Circle the left arm up. Bump your left hip down into the floor. Reach the rib and armpit for this guy. Side stretch. Using your waist muscles, slowly windmill to the other side. Left hand down, right arm up. Stretch overhead, reach the armpit to the sky, and then gently cement that right hip down. Slowly unwind. We'll come to cactus here. Elbows out, 90 degrees. Wrap your right arm on top of your left. You can just give yourself a hug. You can keep wrapping, forearm to forearm or fingertip to palm. Eagle. So taking a shoulder stretch once more. Sit tall in the spine here. There's no rounding in the back. Keep going. Sorry, I'm just restarting my timer. And then on the exhale, we'll slowly unwind. Take a big breath. Lift open, lift the chest, and left on top of right. Wrap. You can either take shoulders like a hug or single bind or double bind. And that's probably why my stopwatch stopped, because I did a stretch that touched the stop button. Keep breathing. Relax your neck. Try to keep it out of your jaw. And we'll unwind. Take one more big breath here. Chest stretch. And release. Sit back into your hips, and we'll take those feet a little bit wider. Think like pinky toes to the outer edges of your mat. Sit into your hands and let those knees drop side to side. Windshield wipers. And let's move to the center of the mat. So if you need to scoot forward, you can, or if you need to scoot back, you can. We're headed to our back. So catch your hamstrings, belly button in, roll down one vertebra at a time. Your head will be the last thing. And when you reach, go ahead and take your arms overhead. If your low back's cranky, keep your knees bent. If your low back's pretty happy, stretch out your legs. So you're a rope and tug of war here, stretching in different directions. Take the right knee to your chest and give it a nice hug. And then we'll flex both feet. Start to circle the right ankle around. And then you can settle those shoulders. Make adjustments if you need it. And then let's twist. Right knee to the left side of your mat. Guide it with your left hand. Reach your right arm out to the opposite side. Knuckle down, palm up. A little bit of heaviness in that arm as you stretch in opposite directions. Good, and we'll slowly unwind. Take your time, and we'll switch it out. Let's do a bridge first before we switch. So go ahead and push both feet down into the floor underneath your knees. Scoot your hips so they're in the middle of the mat, arms down by your sides. Push into both feet, lift your tail, then lift your middle back, and then roll up so it's just your shoulder blades and your head and your arms and your feet on the floor. Knees are pointed up so they're not flaring out. Hug them in. Start the roll back down just as slowly as you rolled up. 1 inch at a time. And then when you get there, we'll switch it out. So left knee to your chest and right leg long. Flex both feet and let's circle your left ankle. Big circles, roll it around. There's a lot of bones in your feet, a lot of muscles in your feet and ankles as well. So it's important to care for them. They're your foundation. And let's take our twist. Left leg over to the right side. Gently start to drop it. And then stretch your left arm in opposition so you have a little counterweight here. And I'm using my right hand to just gently rest on the left thigh. Honor your low back though. If you need less, you can just put both knees together and stack them in a double knee twist. And with this next breath, we'll slowly unwind. Take yourself back to center. Let's do one more bridge. Plant your feet under your knees. Arms long by your side. Scoot your hips to the middle. Push into those feet, all four corners of both feet. And lift the tailbone. Lift the glutes to the low back, the middle back. If you'd like to, you can wriggle up onto your shoulder blades and connect your fingers behind your back, interlacing in a chest expansion. Please keep your eyes up. So if you're not sure what this is, roll back down and then look. And then come back into bridge. So we want to keep our neck in neutral in bridge. And then slowly release your hands if you chose that interlace. We'll slowly roll ourselves back down. Your tailbone will be the last thing. And reverse that stretch by taking your both knees to your chest. One hand on each knee. Rock them out side to side. Massage your back. So this is kind of like that restorative day where you're just doing some therapy for your body so that you can keep moving and doing all the things that you love. Let's go ahead, extend the legs up for the sky and cross right over left. Bend the knees once more and then catch those opposite shins with the opposite hand. So holding my right shin with my left hand and my left shin with my right hand. Gentle hip stretch here. For those of you who are very bendy, you can walk lower down your feet or hold your ankles and create a little more tension, but just honor your body. Your back should be nice and neutral against the floor. And we'll slowly release whatever you're holding. Kick those legs up, uncross, switch the crossing left over right. Bend the knees and catch the opposite shins with opposite hands. So you're taking that little bit of leverage, maybe a pound or two of pressure, letting the head rest back down. Letting the tailbone be heavy. And we'll close with just a few moments of stillness, or what we call Shavasana, final relaxation in a yoga class. Slowly unwind, lift up those legs, uncross. You can give them one final hug. Option here is feet apart, knees together, hands on belly. You could roll to a side, or you can send your legs out for full Shavasana. Toes, ankles open, arms long by your sides, palms up. Slide those shoulder blades down your back, and then get all your wiggles out, scratch all the itches you have, and close down your eyes. Let's take a few moments to just follow your breath. Notice your inhale Notice your exhale. And softly close down your eyelids. Relax the jaw. Lightly close the lips. And if your mind wanders, come back to your inhale and your exhale. You are welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. You can pause the video here, spend a few more minutes just watching your breath. If you're ready to close the practice, start to wake up your fingers and your toes. Put a movement into the wrists and ankles. You'll bend your knees. And slowly choose a side to roll to, reaching that arm up over your head and let the bicep become your pillow for a moment. And we'll push the ground away. Try to let the head come up last so that you can preserve the relaxed feeling that hopefully you could tap into for a few moments. Rest any way you wish. So your legs can be however is comfortable for you. Spine tall, palms up. Deep breath in here, stretch your arms overhead. Match your palms and slide them to your heart center. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a like, share, subscribe, comment, help the channel to spread to more people. I appreciate you, and I will see you for day 7 of our challenge. Namaste.